good evening, and welcome back to the channel. To press the go live. How are we all this evening? Turn some of these lights down. There we go. It's a bit better. A bit more natural lighting. Right, let's get right into some of the comments and see who is all online before we talk about the Celtic news. It is Thursday. That's Green Mow this evening. That's my work done for the week. It is the weekend. The weekend has officially started here on the One Celtic Fans View. All right, let's jump into the comments section. And it's saying that we haven't went live. Let's just see. There we go. Yeah, it is live, thank goodness. There we go. And the sound is fine. Right. All right, mate, it says Jude. We'll get right into the comments first of all before we start talking about the Celtic news this evening. Peter King says, hail, Baz, from a very wet Glasgow. Well, Peter, it is currently 21 degrees here. Don't want to put you off, but it's currently 21 degrees. Evan Sean says, hail, Baz. Paul McCune's in house. Afternoon, Celtic, hail. John Paul Murray is in house. Anyone else had a video message about signing for Celtic? I think it was Rangers, but I have no idea. Tom Mack is in house, and Gemma has retracted her message. Stuart Ramsey, hail on, or be fed up with it now? Fed up with what? Hello, Uncle Stuart. I've missed it a lot of comments. Tom Mack's in the house. Good evening, everyone. Pissing down in Clydebank. Roll on the summer. Apologies, but it's getting a bit cloudy here, but it is 23 degrees as we speak. So, yeah, it's going to be about 29 degrees with me this weekend. Oh, God, it's going to be hot. Anyway, hail from Bedfordshire. Gareth is in here. Benfica. I love Benfica, says Billy Dunn. Stop rubbing it in. This is Lorna. Helen Mack is in the house. How are you, Helen? Gemma's in the house. Evening Baz from a wet North Ayrshire. Please send some sun our way. Look out for a video that's going to probably go live on Sunday afternoon. And I will be going to... And apologies. I did say it was the biggest... I looked back at the video and I did say it was the biggest outside Ireland. Biggest... St. Patrick's Day parade outside Ireland. I mean, in Europe. Cabaroy, just down the coast from me, there will be 20,000 people will don the streets to watch the parade go by. And it takes roughly about an hour and a half for the parade to go by. And it is the biggest outside Ireland. So I will do, I don't know if I'll do a live or I'll just do a video. Anyway, loud and clear, Baz says, Peter King. Lanky says, so I'm guessing Liam Scales is getting a new contract. No, he's not. Lanky? No, he's not Lanky. I'd sell Scales, says Michael Ross. I'd probably sell him too, get the right money for him. Stop laughing at us, Baz. I'm not laughing at you. Honestly, I'm not laughing at you because my mother's coming here in 2 weeks, and she'll give me absolutely tight. Joseph Murphy is in the house, and Kevin is in the house also. Right, let's get to some Celtic news. Matt O'Reilly has been called up to Denmark. He has been called up to the Denmark squad as a late addition, and he wasn't in the squad, but he's now been put into the squad because they have an injured player. Matt O'Reilly has been selected for the Euro 2024 up-and-coming friendlies. Talking about friendlies and talking about Celtic players, Celtic have just got rid of Kobayashi. Yuki Kobayashi has left Celtic on a 6-month loan deal to Japan. He's went back to Japan. Brendan Rodgers continues. Brendan Rodgers is quietly dismantling the remnants of last summer. Quietly behind the scenes, Brendan Rodgers has... it seems to be a good thing, I think, personally. It seems to be a good thing because Brendan Rodgers is now getting rid of the players, the excess players that were brought in by the previous manager that are not good enough for Celtic. They're not good enough to take us forward in a European level. Oh, and I've got a bit of chocolate. Sorry, I'm going to eat it. Not good enough to take us forward on a European level. So Brendan Rodgers has got rid of Kobayashi. Leo Abada, Alexandro Bernabe are just few of the players that Brendan Rodgers got rid of the last couple of weeks. Kobayashi is leaving the club on an initial 6-month loan deal. And that's a Japanese paper that's confirming that. So that's an interesting one. It's a J-League outfit. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it because I always pronounce these Japanese names wrong anyway. But the fact that Kobayashi is out the door on a 6-month loan deal, it's pretty much breaking news this evening. He was brought in by Ange Postecoglou, and let's face it, it's another Ange Postecoglou signing that's not been up to it. Whether it be under the way that Brendan plays or whatever, but Ange Postecoglou's got a lot to answer for. As much as we love him for what he did at his time here at Celtic, he did leave us with a load of shite. Let's face facts. He left us with a lot of shit. And we're finally getting rid of them. Kobayashi is out the door. That's breaking news this evening. And the 23-year-old is gone. That's him. He's gone. In other news, the big breaking news for today, Anthony Joseph says Celtic are getting close to agreeing a new 4-year deal extension for Daniel Kelly. Daniel Kelly signing a 4-year deal for Celtic, says Anthony Joseph. And for what I'm hearing, it is a done deal. It is a done deal. Did I get the dog? Right, you. Go. Run. Raise him up. So Daniel Kelly signing a 4-year deal. Here goes Baz on an Ange rant. Not at all, Stephen. That's it. It's done and dusted. Brendan Rodgers continues the cull. Needs to be the manager himself that goes. He'll Baz Denboy from Oliver, Portugal. Yeah, from Portugal. I hope the weather's good with you, Dennis. Well, the weather's good for you. It's about 23 degrees this week. It's going to be a hot week. It's going to go up to 29 this week. Anyway, Baz, oven chips and chicken. Rock and roll Thursday night. Oven chips and chicken? Jesus God, man. What are you doing? Oh, man. Anyway, let's get back to the news. That Daniel Kelly is going to be signing, the 18-year-old is going to sign a 4-year contract with Celtic. He, mark my words, will be the next Callum McGregor in midfield. Mark my words. I've said it when Callum McGregor came into Celtic. When he came in, even though he went out on loan as a young player, I said, mark my words, he will be the man who takes over from Scott Brown in years to come. I was proved correct then, and I'll be proved correct now. Daniel Kelly will be the man that will be your Celtic captain in midfield in years to come. Mark my words for it. Unless he gets sold like Kieran Tierney for the best part of 25 million. Don't think he will, but I think he's going to be an absolute colossal in midfield in years to come. So that's the big breaking news this evening, that Daniel Kelly looks like he's going to sign a 4-year deal. For people that I've spoken to, it's basically over the line. When it comes to Vata, the deal has no further forward. Vata has still not signed a contract with Celtic, and it looks like it's going to run down to the wire. It's going to run down to the summer. And it's going to be a case of Vata's going to walk away for absolutely nothing. Celtic should have sold Rocco Vata at the last window. The fact that they didn't, if he goes anywhere now, if he goes anywhere in the summer, we'll get a compensation fee of around about 300 grand. About 300 grand. Anyway, so Celtic have had a bit of bad news today. We've had some good news that Kobayashi's away. Had some good news that the Daniel Kelly is going to sign a new 4-year deal contract, which is good. But we have had some bad news at Celtic today. It always comes around the international breaks. And a player that's out injured that was supposedly going to his home country to play football, Lewis Palma, Celtic are not letting him go because they fear that the injury might get worse and that he's not going to be fit enough for this weekend. So Celtic have left the Hondurans upset. The fact that Lewis Palma will not get to join him on international duty. Palma's national team's view as a winger, they are disappointed. They're disappointed and it set off alarms. Celtic are reluctant to let him go off to international duty because they don't want him out for the rest of the season. Says that sources claim that they have claimed that the Palma will not fulfil international obligations this month. While the injury is not serious, Celtic do not want to risk him and they don't want to obviously have the blow of the injury getting worse. And at a time when Callum McGregor's out, Cameron Carter-Vickers will be back this weekend, and Rio Tati's out. The mainstay of your team is out at the moment. We need all these players back for the running. Brendan Rodgers has 4 games to save his soul. Brendan Rodgers has 4 games to save his soul. And why does he have 4 games? He's got 2 Glasgow derbies. And they're a must win for both of them for us to win the league. It's a must win to win every game at the end of the season. And then he's got the small matter of the semi-final against Aberdeen. They're in complete turmoil just now. They're more interested in staying in the league than getting to the final. Surely their main focus must be on staying up, because let's face it, Aberdeen could actually get relegated this season. What if they were to get relegated and win the Scottish Cup? What a turnaround that would be. Could you imagine Aberdeen playing Rangers in the Cup final and they win, and then they're going to they've just been relegated just days earlier? That would be funny as fuck. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers has 4 games, if you ask me. He needs to win these 4 games. He needs to win the Scottish Cup semi-final. He needs to win the Scottish Cup final. And he also needs to win the 2 Glasgow derbies. He needs to win the 2 Glasgow derbies. And that is the 4 games that he has to turn up. And he has to make sure that all our players are fit. Our best players need to be on the team. What am I thinking about? Let me just get back to some of the comments. I'll run up a bit. Brendan Rodgers, I was supposed to have done that one. Baz, I've done, yeah. Oven chips and chicken. Just an air fryer. Get an air fryer. Trust me, get an air fryer. Cut up your toys. Boil them for about 2 or 3 minutes. Sieve them off. Cover them in oil. Put them in the air fryer. Bob's your uncle. They're way better for you than oven chips. Anyway, Peter King says, Baz, that wee hun trying to get on. Is that? I've no idea if there's a wee hun trying to get on. I've not even looked at that. There's been somebody I'm off. I've no idea. Is there a wee hun trying to get on? Don't know. Don't really bother about them. And Stephen thinks I was going on an Ange rant. Does that? Stuart Ramsey says, "Hello, Paul." And Carly is in the house. 1888 CFC. Hail Finians. David Seenan. The one and only David Seenan. Been watching Daniel Kelly for years now. Went to school with his old man, said years ago he's going to be a Celtic star. Fantastic. He's going to be, I think he's going to be, I'm telling you now, he's going to be the guy that will take over for Callum McGregor in the captaincy role in years to come. Mark my words for it. Don't say it. Baz, what are you thinking about the Legends game? Bruni playing. Fantastic. If circumstances were a bit different, I'd probably go home for it. I'd probably go home for that game because I would use my brother's season ticket or tickets. I would use his tickets for it and go to the game. It'd be a fantastic game to go to. Absolutely fantastic game. And you've got to remember, Bruni retired at Celtic during the COVID season with no fans. That was no way for Bruni to retire. That was no way. Bruni should never have walked out the door with no fans. He deserves so much better. Winning 9 in a row, being the captain that won 9 in a row, done so much for Celtic over the years. And it's like it says, leader, captain, legend. And I think it'll be a full house. That day, just for the sake of Bruni. Kaiser is in the house. Kaiser, I haven't forgot about you. And we'll probably go for Saturday morning if that's all right with you. Saturday morning will be better because I've got far too much on Sunday this week, with it being St. Patrick's Day. I've got far too much on Sunday. That's Michael Ross says, very short Lorna, Juliet, Andy, what are you up to tomorrow? Somebody trying to WhatsApp me when I'm working. Julian says, it's unbelievable that we are still in contention for the league and cup double, considering all our players are injured. And Cameron Carter-Vickers, Calmac, Rio, all available after the winter break. We will win. I hope so, and I think we will. When you look at the injuries that we've had this season, I seen publication put out this morning. It was a radio show or some bullshit, and they were saying that Brendan Rodgers, even if he wins the league, he could get sacked. Not a chance. And they're saying if he loses the league, he'll get sacked. But if he wins the league, he'll get sacked also. Not a chance. Not a chance. The board are completely behind Brendan, and they know that Brendan has not accepted the unacceptable, and that was basically all the players that came in towards the end of Ange's tenure and the players that were brought in last summer. He's made the decision and he said, look, if you want me as manager for the next 2 years, we need, this is not a Celtic team. If you look at Brendan's team the first time round and the type of player that we had, there's nothing in comparison to the standard of player that we've got now. Absolutely nothing. So, it's going to be a good end to the season. It's probably going to be, as I say, the season's going to be defined by 4 games. Julian, it's going to be defined by 4 games. It's going to be defined by 4 games. And if we win those 4 games, what a frigging season we've just had. And we're going to look back on it and go, how did that happen? How did we manage to do it? And if we don't, we're going to look back and we're going to say injuries cost us this season. Injuries and Team Lawwell bringing in substandard players. At the end of the day, that's it. Yep, Kaiser, I'll message you right after this. Kevin says, spot on John Paul. What's John Paul saying? So, yeah, I just spoke about that. Celtic would be the only team in Scotland not to be relegated. Aberdeen have been theoretically relegated and saved because promote. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I want Aberdeen relegated. I really do. I really do. Just for because their fans will disappear quicker than a whore's knickers doing one of the roundabouts. Not Rowella Costa. I want Aberdeen relegated just for pure karma's sake. Just for pure karma's. Bruni and Lambert. I would have loved, absolutely loved. I mean, that's kind of my dream team in midfield. Bruni and Lambert. But they're going to be in opposing teams and opposing captains and opposing managers at Celtic Park. Paul Lambert passes sideways as always. Jesus Christ. Paul Lambert never passed sideways. Jesus. Anyway, Kevin says, spot on. Fucking into them Benfica, says Carly. Tim says, as much as I love Bruni, he looks pure gay with that hairdo. That's why I will never grow my hair. I don't know. Bruni just let us all down. He let us down. The ones that shave their head every 3 days. And so's Di. So's never even talk about him. Don't expect Brendan. I expect him gone, says Paul Baird. Kelly says, I wish Brendan was behind me. Unbelievable. She's unbelievable. She's unbelievable. She's always got to bring the tone of the conversation down. There's no negativity. There's positivity. Anyway, Big Dom says, whatever happens to Brendan, he'll be here next season. Yes, he will. Lorna's laughing. I'm behind Brendan too. I thought you need to be in front of him. Right, ladies, calm down. Tune the fat 1988. You're already there, Baz. I'm not in front of him. Baz is joking for the sheep to get in. I'd love. Do you remember when Kevin Keegan had that meltdown on television? Said, I'd love for us to beat them. I'd fucking absolutely love for the sheep to get put down. Honestly, I'd absolutely love it. I would love it. And you can go and share this with all your Dons fans because I would love for them to get put down. They sneaked. Was it not Motherwell or somebody? Who was it? Was it not Dundee? There was a team that didn't have the right stadium. This was at a time where you had to have a 10,000 seater stadium. You had to have a minimum of 10,000 seats. It was quite new when they brought it in, when it was like everybody's got to have a minimum of 10,000 seats. And Aberdeen got relegated. And then they didn't get relegated because the team that was coming up didn't have the 10,000 seater stadium. They had something like 8,000 or something, and they're like, no, we can't. Aberdeen have to come up because they meet the SPFL standards. Tell me anyway. Who cares about Aberdeen? Let's just relegate them just for the banter. just for the banter. Kaiser, Gucci belt, Lord back. Oh no, Stuart Ramsey says, I don't know what she means. Sure, you don't want it. You all know how I feel about Brendan. Says 1888 CFC. She's on it. She's on it tonight. Standing there in his tailor-made suits, fucking smoking. Oh, this channel just goes in so wrong directions sometimes. Anyway, let's get back to Lewis Palmer. Lewis Palmer and Celtic will not. They don't want to risk him going out on international duty, so they've said that he's not getting away. Celtic want to avoid the blow of possibly aggravating his injury worse at a time when there are few Celtic players out. And now, Yoki Kubiashi report rubbished by journalists. Wait a minute, this is a changing story. Reports from Japanese media suggesting that Kobayashi has secured a 6 months loan move has been dismissed. Mark Hendry, so I've seen that on the Japanese paper, but Mark Hendry has come out and said that Kobayashi leaving Celtic is unfounded. Come on, this is a story that is quite fluid at the moment. The situation at Celtic is a topic of speculation. Blah, blah. Henry says Celtic is not ready to part ways with the player just yet. But it's hard to see in the future. They're not ready to part ways with him just yet. And they're going to keep it to the end of the season. They're not ready to. There's a fucking nothing story. Give us a source. Where has he said this about? On Football Scotland. Kobayashi, Mark Hendry on Twitter has said Kobayashi hasn't yet agreed any Celtic exit, contrary to recent reports. And that was 20 minutes ago on Twitter. 20 minutes ago at Twitter. Well, maybe he's in the know. Maybe he's in the know. I don't know. He writes for the Herald, the Scottish Sun, the Greenock Telegraph, and fucking a whole load of other shit. But seemingly he's the man in the know, and he said that Kobayashi is yet to agree any Celtic exit. Interesting. So that's a bit of a fluid one yet. So if there were rules when you must have 10,000 seats in the stadium, we broke the rules. We have 60,000. Yes, we did. We did. Baz and away fans, what are the best 5 away grounds? Shut up about Aberdeen. I want to talk about Brendan. It was Gretna. That's right. It was Gretna. It was Gretna. But then Gretna ended up getting up, didn't they? They got up and then they went bust. Standing there, and Carly's on for it. And here, Lisbon says, laying from work, catching up with Sonny Johnson. And from Sonny Johnson, how come it's Sonny and Johnson, but it's pissing down everywhere else? But everybody's keeping well. Football Scotland's the Daily Record. Yeah, I know. And the sad thing is a lot of the media in Scotland do work for several publications. And thank God I don't have social media. Oh, pish. Yeah, I only go on to Twitter just to see what some of these journalists are saying. Just to see what they're saying. Because they put things out on Twitter before anywhere else. And so anyway, let's get a catch up with the news. Kobayashi, it was suggested, was leaving Celtic. The story, I mean, I've seen it in that's Sponchy, and you convert it, use Google Chrome, and you go for Japanese to English. And then when it says it was confirmed by the 10th that Kirishima will acquire Yoki Kobayashi, 23, the former under 22 international defender from Scottish First Division side Celtic, according to multiple sources, for a limited period of 6 months. And this is what the Japanese paper then goes on to say. It says Kobayashi is a left-handed centre back who stands at 1.8 feet, blah, 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 a load of shite. Then it says he got attention in the younger generation. He also participated in the 2019 Under-20 World Cup. He moved to Celtic permanently in January 2023. He was requested by Tottenham, the current Tottenham Hotspur manager. And then it goes to say, however, he's not appeared in any official games this season He does not get along well with the new manager, who is rumoured to be fired. This is fucking brilliant. Oh my goodness, the Japanese are really going for it. I'm going to put this up. If you've got Google Chrome, right, and Jesus, oh my god, this is actually in the Japanese paper, right? This spotchy.co.jp. They said, however, he has not appeared in any official. Now, it is translated from Japanese into English through Google Chrome. It says he's not appeared in any official games this season because he does not get along well with new manager Brendan Rodgers, who is rumoured to be fired. While searching for transfer, it seems the decision was made in response to a love call from Karushima, who's in urgent need of reinforcements in centre back. I love it. Oh, a love letter. Oh, look at his dreams. Anyway, oh my god, that is just the funniest thing ever. That I'm going to put the link up so you can go and read it. You will need to. Where is it? You will need to transfer it in English via Google Chrome. I'll put it up so you can read it. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers has been sacked according to this paper. Can I still think about beef curry? Well, at least there's no beef curtains. Anyway, come on, you black and tans, come on and fight me like a man. Show your right, I'll tell you when medals down in Flanders, and they'll tell the Irish. 100% Falkirk, not Gretna. They came up and played at Fir Park before going down. But Gretna played at their own stadium as well, did they not? They played at their own stadium. I love a beef curry. The fuck he's all talking about? Anyway, the situation with Kobayashi, it did come out, and I've put the link to sponsy.co.jp, translate it into English, and then scroll down to the final one, the final paragraph. And the final paragraph does say, however, he's not appeared in any official games this season because he doesn't. I'm going to put that on Twitter. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Let's post it on Twitter. Oh man. Oh, it's one of those fucking extra long ones. Don't bother. Right, how long have we been on? We've been on for 26 minutes. Paul, Brendan and Brendan has Kobe in the sack. No sack. Well, you never know. You get an X Factor with that singing. Don't tell my dad that. Kobayashi couldn't care less. No, he couldn't. He couldn't that. But then that is the link. So once we're finished, you can go and jump onto that. Baz, what's your fave curry? Lamb Rogan Josh. There you go. I might actually do a live one night. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. We'll do a live one night. We'll just ask me anything. Do you know what? Just do it just now. There's only 128. Football's. We'll wait till tomorrow to talk about the game at the weekend. But if you've got any questions, ask me them now in the comments. A complete free for all. Ask me anything you want in the comments and I'll answer it. Boona. Yeah, a boona. I've got to love that. I've got to love a boona. I need a curry, fried rice, raw onion, chips, mushrooms, chicken balls. There you go. There you go. There's a great curry house here where you can get a menu del dia, which is a starter, a main, and a pudding and a drink, a pint of beer, anything. Yes, Lorna, ask me absolutely anything. Calm yourself. Really, anything. Yeah, ask me anything. Ask me any question about anything. 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 Fucking widos. Milk, lemonade, chocolate. Milk, lemonade, chocolate. Pure chickens, no boys. Ask Bath anything. Ask Baz anything. Pure show. Anything. I really wonder sometimes. That's it. That's it. This is where it all fails. This is where it all goes down. Any superstitions before a Celtic game? Yes. When I used to go to Celtic games, I used to always wear a lucky pair of socks. And if we were playing at Ibrox and we were heading through on the bus, I would check the weather. because if it was raining at Ibrox, we never won. If it was raining at Ibrox, we never won, and it was weird. It was the same with Hampden. We played them at Hampden. We gets to Hampden and it starts pissing down, and we lost to them at Hampden. So yeah, that's my superstition. I don't really have one now. I used to drink, going back to Martin O'Neill's years. I used to have a Drambuie before European games. I used to have a glass of Drambuie sitting, and I would have a Drambuie, and it was I don't know why it was Drambuie, but it was a thing. And I used to have a Drambuie before every game, European game in Martin O'Neill's 2003 run to the one and only stadium. Problem was maintaining erections, Baz. Not a chance. I see another pod sponsored by Stoner Tablets. Fuck off. Stoner Tablets. The biggest brawl. What is the cost of hotels nearby for a week? And what's the food like? Food's absolutely fantastic. There's only really one hotel down at it's the Lasagna Hotel. Check out the Lasagna Hotel. But if you're wanting somewhere to stay, try and get in touch with me through Twitter, because I know guys that rent out apartments and bungalows and stuff like that. Carly, Baz, could you put me up for a week? Nope. Nope. Caramel log jammer. To keep it food oriented, nah. Baz, we can all come for a visit. No, in the summer. There was actually thinking about putting on a Celtic, because there's so many Celtic bars in this area. We were thinking about putting on something along the lines of a Rebel Fest a weekend, but that's not going to happen this summer by the looks of it. Don't eat anything. Done it? No. Your summer meet up. I was going to claim a band was a massive stunner. Where's my wife? That's where my wife was. Foxy's Classics. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I said, ask me any question you want, and you just start talking shite. And you go, ask me anything. Anyway, right, since she's about Foxy's Classics. Right, let's get a roundup of the Celtic news. Kobayashi was suggested to have been leaving Celtic. Tea cake summer party at Bazzy's house. Not a chance. Not a chance. Have a bottle of wine before the game, and then a half bottle at half time, and then another one in the last 10 minutes. Kaiser, we used to drink Vody Bovril at the games. When I used to go to games, there was me and quite a few others, and one guy that was completely famous on Twitter at one point, and then the boys for the Bells Hill bus. Big nod to the boys for Bells Hill. We started drinking Vody Bovril. So we would take in a quarter bottle of vodka each, and then we would get Bovrils during the game, half time or whatever. And then there was one game we just didn't give a fuck. We left. We was right behind the goals, and we ended up throwing our quarter bottles of vodka down behind the goals. So it's funny as anything. Anyway, let's get back to the Celtic news. Kobayashi was suggested earlier, and I have put the link up to the paper that released it in Japan, saying that Kobayashi was going, and he had left Celtic on a last-minute deal. But Mark Hendry says that Kobayashi is yet to agree a deal and agree an exit from Celtic. Contrary to reports, the club are keeping a hold of him just now. Is that till the summer? Is it just keeping him till the summer and then letting him go then? Anthony Joseph broke the big news today. Celtic are close to agreeing a 4-year contract extension for Daniel Kelly. 4-year contract extension. Kelly's broken into the 8 team this season. He's going to be an absolutely fantastic, colossal player that will take over the captaincy from Callum McGregor in about 4 or 5 years' time. Mark my words with that. About 4 or 5 years' time when Callum hangs up his boots. That, mark my words, Daniel Kelly is the next Celtic captain. And Louis Palmer is not going away with Honduras to play in the international games purely for the fact that he's injured at the moment and Celtic don't want him to aggravate that injury. George Shirley is in the house. Baz, read out my comment to let me know that I'm not still banned. You're not banned? Why? You've never been banned. You've never been banned. House party at Baz's. There will be a Rebel Fest though. Fenian Summerfest 2024. I think it's a bit late to try and get it booked for this summer. And too many people would have already booked up to go to the little island just across from us, Santa Ponza. So everybody will be going there at the time. If we're going to do it, it will probably be in a June but it doesn't look like it'll be this year. We might try one for later on in the year, but we'll wait and see. We need to get the right venue and see what happens for then. Palmer's teeth are injured. Yeah, probably. More than likely. Vodi Bovro. Lorna, you need to try it. When you're at a game, try it. Honestly. I've Brendan in a bag of cans. I bet you have. Bet you have. Sandwich boys puking at the folk, the Vodi Bovro. And yeah, Vodi Bovro, you've got to go all the way you want. All the way you want. Anyway, you're no banned, John. John, you're not banned. You're not banned at all. Yes. So, in other Celtic news, there's not a lot going around this evening. I'll just check the headline figure. Brendan Rodgers lands intensity seeing St. Lennox Town. This is a nonsense story. Gaza airstrike kills former Palestine international. Wow. And then a Abada quits. Worrying Lewis Palmer update released by the Honduran FA test show that Celtic star will be out for 3 or 4 weeks. Official statement is released. Blow for Brendan Rodgers. Official statement is released where? Where? That's the Lewis Palmer story. The Honduran FFFA. And it's a link to the Twitter account of the Honduran FA, who have confirmed that Lewis Palmer will not be partaking in international football. And breakthrough. Celtic Chiefs agree significant in-house deal with powerhouse player. And Lewis Palmer in huge doubt for the Celtic Sevco game. That's about all for your Celtic headlines tonight. Obviously, we broke the news that we thought Kobe Ashley was away. Matt O'Reilly's been called back up to the international Denmark squad after being left out. He was disappointed in the fact that he was left out initially, but he was told that he was going to be called up for the squad in the summer. He's now been called up for the friendly games. Kobe Ashley is a will he, won't he situation. One website in Japan saying that he's left Celtic, he's leaving Celtic, and journalist in the UK and Scotland is saying that he's not. And that is your Celtic news this evening. Let's jump back onto some of the comments before we call it a night. Cheers, guys. Lol, John Shirley. Yeah, and Val, I see you, John. Is John Shirley still going on about things? John Shirley, Lorna, I could give you all the hugs and kisses, man. John, you were probably banned. He was never banned. He comments on the channel all the time. He's one of the guys that comments on every single video. Hats off to John. Hats off to John. I see you were banned in another podcast. So he's been banned somewhere else. I only generally ban Huns. Anyway, or people that annoy me for the day. Anyway, on that note, we're at 140 viewers. It's been a low video count tonight. Again, down to 553 views this evening. Yeah, we need to do something about that because the views have been dropping this week. It is one of those weeks. Baz, has anyone seen James McCarthy? Nope. I've never seen James McCarthy. Does he even exist? You never see pictures of him in training or anything. Stop banning them, Baz. What, the Huns? You need to ban the Huns. I can't be arsed with their shite. He was banned from the Celtic Supporters podcast by mistake. John Shirley, Baz, thanks. Hope now to meet me at the airport with my suitcase. I need to get here. Carly, you were being negative nanny that night. Come on. You were being so negative it was unreal. Anyway, have a great night, Lorna. Good night, Baz and everyone from Parkhead. John Shirley is back. He's brought his commas with him. Oh my goodness, I tell you, the whole lot of you are absolutely bonkers. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans. I'm waiting to finish my green beer, my Mau Classic, one of the best beers in Spain. Is that now? And finish with a little bit of chocolate. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans.